All right. I said I'd never do another video, but I'm doing another one. Because stuff that Vinnk sent me. All right. So, let's take a look. Sure, I ordered it and I should know, but it's a surprise because it's taken like 3 months, so I'm not sure I quite remember. Oh, okay, so yeah, it's gonna be backwards in the camera, and the light's bad. World Championship Boxing for the Super Famicom. SD Gundam Super Robot Wars Relay Volleyball or Dodgeball. Astro Bout. I have part 2. When I asked Vinnk, hey, would I play it? He's like, well, you got the second. Would you play the first one? I'm like, does one not play Street Fighter Alpha just because they have Alpha 2 and 3? I know, I do. And you know, it's a platformer for the N64. I don't actually remember what this one's called. It looked cool when he showed it to me. So that's a surprise. We'll see that one. All right. Oh, for the Game Boy, we got G-Arms. Never enough Gundam. Ever. What do we got here? Oh, I forgot. Super Chinese World for the Game Boy. Love these games. From Vinnk, I've gotten them for the Famicom. I've got them for the Super Famicom. Though, actually, no, I think about it. I need part 2 for the Super Famicom. So, and I'm going to butcher the name of this. I always call it Magical Kun. And I actually have 2 of them for the Famicom. And 1 for the Super Famicom. But my dream, the one I really want to own, is the one on the Genesis or the Mega Drive. But I really don't have a way to play the imports. And then, oh. Okay, check this out. It looks like a Super Game Boy, but it's not. It's, oh, as I try to get out of the light here. Let me see if I do this, it's better. Is G Next. So it's a Super Robot Wars game. And it has a slot here. Because even back in the day, you could buy map packs. So it's not only something in the current generation. Oh, okay. So I say to Kevin, what's the game I'm going to put in first? And it's Golden Fighter for the N64. This is a long-running series. I actually have, I think, 1 of them on the Famicom, 2 of them on the Super Famicom, and now this one. So it's a 3D fighter, but it also has a beat-em-up mode and then a one-on-one fighting mode. So you can never have enough fighters, ever. All right, let me see what we got here. Oh, wait a minute. I totally forgot. Okay. Let's see if you can see it. It's actually, all right. So I got to tell you. So my daughter and I love my daughter to death. And we have this thing where I imported a Japanese baseball game. Oh, what was the first one we did it? We got it on the 360 because we went to the Seattle Retro Gaming Show. And it was going to be my birthday, I think, like in 2 weeks. So we were walking around and I saw this table that had a Japanese 360 and some games and stuff. And now this shows you how long ago this was. And I don't know, it was like $40 or something for like the system and like 10 games. And she knew that I wanted it, but I walked away going, $40. She actually went back and picked it up for me for $30. And one of the games was a Power Pro baseball. We played it and we had a blast. So it has been a thing now to collect, like I swear, every baseball game. So this is One Piece baseball on the GBA. I know. I had to when I heard about it. I had to. And I have to be honest, I do not remember. Some of these I don't remember, at all because it's been 3 months. I don't remember what this one is. I am going to have to look that one up. I actually don't remember. Here I am feeling completely stupid because I don't remember my own games. Oh. All right. So this is a Japan-only release for Digimon. So redigitize because, well, you have to have a little Digimon in your life. Oh. Look at this. Trails game for the PSP. Heck yeah. I get such good stuff from Vinnk. He takes care of me. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, okay. Damn. Sometimes I get amazed at how good used games are in Japan. So we have Inuyasha RPG for the PlayStation. I've never really watched enough of the anime, but my son always talks about it, so I wanted to. Oh, yes. Okay. So I have this thing where I really love anything Gundam and Super Robots, but also Kamen Rider. So Vinnk had a fighting game for the PS1, which is Kamen Rider. And you just have to. You just have to get it. Because it's Kamen Rider. Oh, okay. So, sorry, each one of these is having a story, I know. But one of my favorite systems, favorite of all time, is the Sega Dreamcast. I remember, so it released in Japan before the US, and a friend of mine who worked at a import store, he invited me to come over and watch it, or to take a look at it. And I had no intention of buying it. I just wanted to see. Well, I came over and I saw Sonic Adventure. And once I saw that, I was like, dude, how much? How much? Hands down. And I actually left with the system and Sonic Adventure. And from then, it is just, I have so many systems that I love, but the Dreamcast has just been one that no matter what, it's a classic. I actually purposely get a PC monitor CRT so I can do VGA, just because. And I have to say, my all-time favorite game on that system, all-time favorite, is Capcom vs. SNK Millennium Fight. Couple of reasons. One, I love fighting games, and two, it was the first real cross of my two favorite fighting game companies, Capcom and SNK. I play it to this day. It is just phenomenal. So you had a golf game, sort of like Hot Shots for the Dreamcast, and I was sold. I love that series, but it's Dreamcast, and I love Dreamcast games. Fire Pro Wrestling G. Now, funny part with Fire Pro is I suck. I'm terrible at them. I am so bad. I can't figure out the fighting system, but I love them. It's like masochism. I don't know. It just is. Okay, and then going with what I've said is Super Robots. I mean, that was it. Enough said. Have to have it. I believe this is the one. This was like a 3D arena fighter. So, I mean, Arena Fighter and Gundam, like, I am so there. Speaking of that, Megatudo is a 3D robot fighter. I don't know. I think you might be catching on to the fact of it doesn't take much to really make me that happy. I saw it and I was like, I need it. I got to do it. It's a thing. Far East of Eden. What is it? Tengu Mako? He's gonna kill me when he sees this and realizes that I'm butchering it. So I got part 4 of this on the Saturn, and amazingly incredible game. And I told Vinnk just how much I really loved it, and he's like, "Well, you have to get like one and two. You just have to. And I found out I actually have both 2 and 3 on the PS2. I didn't realize it was the same series. So he hooked me up with this for the Turbo Duo CD. So I am like so stoked to play that. Oh, which one is this? Oh, is this? Hold on. Yeah, it is. Okay, so check this out. So it's a Japan release of Yu-Gi-Oh, right? The Yu-Gi-Oh, the card game. But as Vinnk told me, this is one of the few DS games that I think it's like 9 different languages it's localized in. So normally I sit here with, I'm not proud, I sit here with Google Translate. But I don't need to, because I can do it in English. All right. What is this one? Okay. So, oh my. Actually, I don't think Kevin and I realized this. Sorry, I keep using interchangeable Kevin and Vinnk, but it seems to be the theme of this box is like mechs and robots, and so here's another one, Vehicle Cavalier. It really has a Virtual On kind of vibe to it. And so if you don't know what Virtual On is, it's really a very good robot arena fighter. And just simply amazing game. So when he showed me that, I was like, okay, I have to do it. Oh, yeah. So here, Cross of Venus. So it's an RPG. And sure, all in Japanese. I don't know Japanese, as I said. I use Google Translate. But when I looked at this, the 2D artwork and everything just looked simply amazing. So I needed to get it. I really love that classic artwork. Chukuden, if I'm pronouncing that right. So this is, this was Koei. This was Koei Tecmo's answer to Monster Hunter. I actually do have this game on the Vita and the PS4. I think I have part 2 on the PS4. So I really wanted to get this on the PSP as well, because truth be told, between the Vita and the PSP, the Vita, way better technology, better screen, but the PSP is just classic. It feels like home, if that sounds goofy. Okay. So, Lupin the Third. I've always wanted to try one of these games. So, my wife and I, our introduction to Lupin was I think it was Amazon Prime. There's a series on Amazon Prime where they made a modern day take on Lupin, and we loved it. We loved watching the series. It was really cool. And then I caught one of the anime movies, and loved it. Thought it was great. So when I saw this, I was like, oh my God, I've always wanted to do one. I've got to have just one to try. I don't know if it'll be any good, but I can't wait to try it. Oh, I forgot about this. Oh, I can't wait. So, Bomberman Kart. Sure, there's Mario Kart and all of that, but I mean, it's Bomberman and Kart. So Bomberman is classic. I have Bomberman 2 in the Famicom, and then I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the Super Famicom. I don't have 5. And I have a couple of Game Boy games. I have it on the PlayStation. I have it on the Dreamcast. I have it on the Saturn. Like, Bomberman is a staple. It's a staple classic game across the retro systems. Okay. So this game, I am totally taking my friend's recommendation. I do like puzzle games. And Vinnk is without a doubt like the king of recommending the right puzzle games. He's turned me on to things like Yoshi's Cookie and different Puyo Puyo type of games, and I've loved them all. So when he recommends a puzzle game, I go with it. So this is called Zoo. And that's about all I know. No. It is, if I look at it, it feels like some type of a Puyo Puyo block game combination. All I know is that he recommended it, and if he recommends a puzzle game, one does not ignore it. That's my take on it. Oh, that's right, and I forgot about this. So this is, again, going with the theme, this is a demo disc for one of the Super Robot Wars games. And actually the Super Deformed versions, I just have to go with it because, you know, if I showed you around this room, you would see so many Gundam games because I can't get enough. Soul Cradle, which is actually Soul Nomad in the US, and I don't have the US version. I do have it on the Prinny's Presents collection for the Switch, but it's HD, but the graphics took a little bit of a smear hit. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, I really want to play it on the PS2 because I have my CRT set up, and there's just something about being able to play the games the way you grew up with them that is just amazing. Security Police. I just did. It's an action title. It looked stupidly fun, and sometimes I just have to get things that look stupidly fun. Because some of these older games, right? You can just throw them in, you can play, you can laugh. You're not worried about. Wow. All right, so now I'm getting a little off track, but like, I still play modern games. Don't get me wrong. I play games, but you know, when you're playing a game in the current generation, I shouldn't say everybody, but you can't help yourself, right? You're like, well, hey, it's not taking advantage of ray tracing, or it's not taking advantage of this, or it's not doing this, and oh, I'm comparing it against this title that just released versus this one, and how does it look here? The plus about playing these older games is you're just not worried about that because you already expect, like, it's a PS2 game, it's a PlayStation game, right? It's a Saturn game. And my daughter, again, who, as I said, love dearly, we were sitting and we were going through some old games, which she hadn't seen before. And I put in a game, Vagrant Story. That was it, Vagrant Story. And the way I've always kind of said it with retro games is, depending on the age of the game, it takes you a few minutes, maybe an hour, to get over the difference in graphics, right? Because you're like, but then as long as the game is good, you start to get into the game, and next thing you know, it's like, they're not an issue. But again, not all. I think 2D art can age perfectly. Early 3D block hands, some of that's really rough, and it didn't age well. But Vagrant Story, when I put it in, she gave me a new way to think about games. She looked at me and she was like, Dad, she's like, isn't it amazing what they did with the technology back then? She said, look at the design, the architecture choices they made. And I kind of took a step back and I looked and I was like, wow, you're kidding me. How have I not seen this? I was always so caught up on it's an older game, it's all cool, and I'll just get over it. And ever since then, I don't look at any retro games the same, because sure, there are some budget titles where they didn't have the money or they didn't care and it was a quick cash grab. But some of them, it is like, wow, what the dreams they had, that they were able to get across with the limitations of the time. Like, what if they had the ability to redo that game now? Right? What would they actually do? What would it look like? So, it's a little long-winded, but this again, part of it just looked cool, is volleyball. And it looks super fun. Vinnk had put it in, and we looked at it and said, yeah, we're just going to do it. And let's see here. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. This is without a doubt one of the craziest combinations. So I've already said Kamen Rider, like, almost no wrong. Almost no wrong. There was one Kamen Rider game I passed on. It was this motorcycle one, and was just kind of like, yeah, we'll pass. But this is a Kamen Rider fighting game, but this is a 2-disc collection. So it's Kamen Rider, and let's see if I don't know if you can see. I don't think it says it on the front, but it actually is Kamen Rider on one disc and Taiko Drum Master on the other. Now, what I don't know is if it's Kamen Rider songs, and I don't know if you know like Taiko Drum Master, but it literally is. It's a rhythm game where if you're like playing in the arcade, you have the controller at home. It's actually like I don't know what the name of the drum is, but they're like the I guess not like bongos, but almost like that type of design. And I actually have another one I got that was all like anime music. So I don't know, crazy package. We laughed about it, and I said, okay, we have to do it. And okay, this is crazy. This is crazy. Oh, my. Sorry, this one's extra wrapped. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Oh. So, oh, look at that. Oh. Okay, I have to open. I need to see. So, oh my gosh, look at that. All right, hold on. Oh my God. Okay. So, I believe this one is Trails from Azure, which just came out on the Switch, but this is the Japanese version for the PSP where it originally came out. But it's a collector's edition. And if I remember right, this is a media collection. I think there's music on it. I think there's some photo stills, and I think there might be some animation. So that comes in there. And then what else do they have here? What is this? Oh, that's cool. It's like a little thing about, I think this is about Falcom and their offices. Oh yeah, because it's Falcom Spirits. I'll have to translate it later. But that's cool. That is so cool. I don't have like a ton of collector's editions. I usually don't like worry about picking them up. And that's what makes it all the more special when I do get one. And these are all for me. I don't like, well, what I should say is not that I don't ever sell games. I have a rule for my collection, and that is the only things that stay in my collection are games that I will play. I'll go back and play again. If not, then, I would get rid of it unless I will always keep a game in my collection if there's a memory tied to it. Like I actually have Superman for the original Xbox, and that was the only game that ever made me be minutes or seconds from throwing my controller through the TV. I remember it because my kids were, they still remember that, how mad I was. Because if you haven't played Superman on the original Xbox, flying in the missions is an exercise in absolute frustration. It is ridiculous. But so yeah, so if there's a memory attached to it, or if it was a gift. If someone gives me something, it stays in my collection forever. And that's because if someone went out of their way to think about you and actually give you a game, so it just feels wrong to get rid of it. For instance, somebody found a game, thought of me, and gave it to me. And it's X-Men Legends on the PS2. Oh, I'd go find it, but I'd have to go find it on the shelf. But it's destroyed. The label's half ripped off. The disc is so scratched. It's like someone came to your house, and instead of them putting like their drink on your table, you went, no, wait. I have a game. Please put it on this. It is just scratched to live in hell. I don't even know if it worked. I keep saying I'm going to put it in and try it. But they were so happy that they found a game and they knew I would appreciate it that for a while it was on display. And people were asking me, what's with that? And I'm like, well, because my friend gave it to me. So I know it's a weird thing. But this box is so cool, but I haven't changed my mind. I have not changed my mind. Golden Fighter is the first one I'm putting in. Nothing has changed my mind on that because I have been thinking about that and dying to pick it up. So, well, that is what Vinnk sent me. Maybe again, we'll try this again. We'll do another video on my next box. So have fun and keep gaming.